The snake moved closer. An invisible force seemed to push it back. Chike's cry intensified, as if the baby was fighting off the creature's evil intentions with his own energy. Mama Nena gasped, accidentally knocking over a bucket beside. Once upon a time, in a small African town, lived a young couple, Obi and Amaka. They had been blessed with a son, Chike, just 3 months old. Like many new parents, they faced the challenges of balancing work with raising their child. Obi worked as an accountant, and Amaka had just started a new job as a manager in a marketing firm. Both were dedicated to their careers, but as time came for Amaka's maternity leave to end, they needed to find someone trustworthy to care for their little Chike during the day. After asking around and not finding anyone suitable, they reached out to a popular babysitting agency in the nearby city. The agency recommended a young woman named Ada, who had just moved to the town. Ada was soft-spoken, always wearing a shy smile, and appeared to be the picture of innocency. She came highly recommended by the agency, and desperate for a solution, Obi and Amaka hired her without much investigation. From the very first day Ada arrived, things seemed off. But the couple brushed their worries aside, thinking they were just being overprotective. They left for work, trusting Ada to care for their baby. As soon as Obi and Amaka left each morning, Chike would begin to cry uncontrollable, wailing with a force that shook the walls. His cries pierced through the neighborhood, echoing in every corner of their street, until they returned in the evening. Despite being told about the baby's constant crying, Obi and Amaka attributed it to their son's natural restlessness. They believed that Chike might be missing his mother or teething early. Their work schedules were demanding, and they didn't have the time to look into it more closely. However, one of their neighbors, an elderly old woman named Mama Nena, couldn't ignore the cries. She had lived in the town for decades and knew everyone's business. A widow with grown children, Mama Nena had a keen sense of intuition and a heart that couldn't bear to see a child suffer. She approached Obi and Amaka a few times, mentioning that Chike's cry sounded more like a cry of fear than a cry for attention. But they dismissed her concerns. They were polite but busy. One afternoon, while Obi and Amaka were at work, the baby's screams rang out louder than ever. Mama Nena, unable to ignore it, went to their house to investigate. She pressed her ear to the window and peeked through a gap in the curtain, hoping to catch a glimpse of what was happening inside. What she saw left her speechless. In the dimly light room, a giant snake, its squirring gleaming in the low light, hovered above Chike's crib, crying as if he's preparing to strike. Every time the snake moved closer, an invisible force seemed to push it back. Chike's cry intensified, as if the baby was fighting off the creature's evil intentions with his own energy. Mama Nena gasped, accidentally knocking over a bucket beside her. The sound startled the snake, and in a flash, it transformed back into the familiar form of Ada. She adjusted her scarf, looking around with a suspicious glance. But she didn't seem to notice Mama Nena spying through the window. Terrified, Mama Nena ran back to her house, her heart pounding in her chest. She waited until Obi and Amaka returned back in the evening, and she told them what she had seen. At first, the couple struggled to believe her. The idea of their sweet, gentle babysitting being some kind of dark creature seems impossible. But as they looked into Mama Nena's eyes and saw the raw fear, they realized that there might be something sinister at play. They decided to set a trap to find out the truth. The next day, Obi and Amaka pretended to leave for work, saying goodbye to Ada as they always did. But instead of driving away, they sneaked around the back of the house with Mama Nena and waited, hidden behind a tree near the window. It wasn't long before Chike's cry filled the air again, echoing with an even more desperate tone. Peering through the window, they saw Ada standing near the crib, her eyes groaning unnatural. Before their very eyes, Ada's form melted away, replaced by the enormous snake they had been warned about. It hissed and slithered, trying to reach Chike, who was now red-faced from screaming, just as the snake attempted to crawl around the baby. Obi, Amaka, and Mama Nena burst into the room, shouting, "Blood of Jesus," at the top of their lungs. The sound seemed to seal through the air, and the snake cried, writhing in pain. It twisted and turned, letting out a monstrous scream as it transformed back into Ada, who looked stunned and terrified. Without a word, she fled away in the house, her form fiddling between human and serpent as she vanished into the shadows of the nearby woods. And from that day, Ada was never seen in the town again. Obi and Amaka rushed to their son, holding him tightly. They were shaking to their core, realizing how close they had come to losing Chike. The incident changed them forever. They decided to quit their jobs and start a small business together, a venture that allowed them to stay home and look after Chike. They sold locally made crafts and fresh products at the market, turning their home into a lively space filled with love and laughter. Chike's cry soon turned into joyful giggles as his parents now had time to play with him and watch him grow. A word of the incident spread quickly throughout the town, like a wildfire, about the mysterious babysitter and her true nature. Some whispered that she was a demon sent to prey on innocent children. Others said that she was a cursed woman, wandering from town to town in search of redemption. But no one knew the real story, and the agency that had recommended her seemed to vanish without a trace when confronted. Although The parents' life changed dramatically. They were grateful to Mama Nena for her bravery and care. They became close friends, visiting her often and making sure she never wanted for anything. As for Mama Nena, she continued to be a guardian for the town, watching over the neighbors and warning them of the danger that lurked in the shadows. The story of the mysterious babysitter became a local legend, told by the elders during evening gatherings around the fire. It served as a reminder to the town people to always look close at what lies beneath the surface, to trust their instincts, and to cherish the time they had with their loved ones. And as for Obi, Amaka, and Chike, it was a story they will never forget. A story of danger, resilience, and unwavering power of the parents' love. The end.